The very popular event called DIGSTOCK had a DIGSTOCK VII. It was this October in 2023 down in the Mojave Desert in Southern California. For the first time ever, it was all about gold. So DIGSTOCK teamed up with the LDMA, that's the Lost Dutchman Mining Association, to put this event on. We were at the Duisenburg Camp, which is just outside of Randsburg, California. Very historic mining town. So there's a lot of history in the area, a lot of digging and looking for gold and silver, and lots of gold and silver found in the desert, the Mojave Desert. It's typically dry diggings because there's just no water down here. DIGSTOCK VII was really close to the town of Randsburg. And from the Duisenburg Camp, the LDMA camp there, we could actually look up on the hill and see the area of Randsburg. It's pretty close by. It dates back to about the 1890s. And it's kind of a hybrid between an old long lost ghost town and a modern town. Not a lot going on for tourism, but definitely something that's worth checking out if you're in the area. So I drove down to Ridgecrest, California on Wednesday, and that next morning, Thursday morning, I met up with Debbie from Minelab, driving that really cool Jeep Gladiator, hauling the big Minelab trailer, and we rode down to the event. And we spent about 4 hours setting everything up. And at the crack of dawn on Friday morning, we were ready to go. People started trickling in, and by the time 8 a.m. came, we had a good crowd. We went ahead and had our briefing before everybody headed out to do some metal detecting and prospecting. And on Saturday morning, I'm working at the Minelab tent, and a guy walks up and asks me some questions about a coil for the Equinox 800. Says he lives on an old silver mine in the area, and he bought an 800, turned it on. He's been living there for 9 or 10 years. Turns the machine on and starts finding silver literally everywhere. He'd been walking over the silver, driving over it. So we all thought, man, this is a crazy story. And the guy drove away, and he comes back a couple hours later. I got to show you the video clip of what he brought when he came back. Chris, how long have you had the 800?
Oh, since we got the $1,400 stimulus check.
Ah, yeah, so the COVID checks, right?
Yep.
So he got this 800, Equinox 800, and took it up to where he lives on his claim. And you'd been living there for years before you realized something,
9 years.
9 years living there, not realizing until you got this machine that what were you living on? Can you show us?
I was living on pure smelted silver.
Pure
The old timers smelted silver and dripped over the side and left it.
Wow. Unbelievable that you lived there all that time and you were literally walking over silver.
The whole time driving over it.
Okay, so he tells me the story, and then he shows up about an hour later with what I'm going to show you, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
Epic.
Let me show you this. I'll have Chris show you this first in the light before I show you what he brought me to look at. So that's raw silver, right?
This is raw silver ore that I found on the surface, where I found all the rest of the silver.
Incredible. And the closer you look at this thing, the more mesmerizing it is. You can see silver just shot all through it. I mean, if you can see that. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can see that on the camera. But then, so let's show them what else you got over here, what you brought. This is just crazy, guys. And before we even start looking at this, listen. You know when you have silver coins in your hand? That sound, that unmistakable silver sound? Look at this. Absolutely incredible. And this bag over here.
All this in this hand, in this bag, was found within 50 feet of my front door.
Dude, God, where's that one that had that one? Yeah, look at this, guys. Look how gnarly, just right on top of the dirt, right? You can see the impression of the dirt.
These
and then look at the top.
Sunbakers.
Sunbakers out in the open.
Yep, just laying on the surface.
Solid silver. I mean, just a chunk of smelted 100-year-old silver.
7.58 ounces.
Yeah. God, that is absolutely incredible. These are all high conductors. No different than your dimes, quarters, halves, and silver dollars. I mean, this thing is going to blow your ears off. That is as high conductor as you can get. It's going to be a 100 on a scale of 1 to 100. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It's no mistaking.
No.
Sound.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. He came back to go over to DIGSTOCK booth and buy a coil. And brought this to show me, and I just can't get over. Like, look at that. That was poured molten right onto the dirt, and sat there 100 years.
100 years. Yep.
And I'm glad you figured this out, dude.
Me too. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
This is $10,000 in silver.
Yeah.
And I still got several pounds to pick out.
Right. Yeah, just incredible. It just goes to show you guys, he didn't have that, and he's walking over it. He gets this, and now you're looking at it here, just crazy. That's metal detecting for you. Awesome, man. Well, thanks, Chris, for bringing it in and showing everybody.
Oh, you're welcome.
And now you're going to tell us exactly where this happened?
Absolutely not.
All right, guys. Just want to show you that. Incredible. I was pretty busy at the event working at the Minelab tent, so I didn't really get out and look and see what everybody found. But I know that one gentleman was digging in the creek right behind our Minelab trailer, and he was literally 15 or 20 feet away from our trailer and dug a really nice gold nugget. Another person dug a really nice Indian head penny right behind our trailer as well. All right, what you got there?
I found this Indian head penny in DIGSTOCK VII.
Nice.
1896.
Wow, very cool. Look at the condition of that penny. Go out in the sunlight so we can see it in the sunlight a little bit. Let them get some light on it. It's a beautiful penny. Look at that. Woo! Nice. All right, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just came across this beautiful little rose-colored horned-toed lizard. Just a little horny toad. Just beautiful. I think it's a juvenile. But he's really cool. Like a dinosaur. Look at that guy. I'll put him back in his little bush over here where I got him from. And definitely wanted to examine him, though, because you just don't see stuff like that every day. And maybe you do up here, but not for me anyway. But how beautiful of an animal is that? They eat ants. I've watched them in the desert many times, and they just pick off ants on the desert floor. I'll let him go. Put him right back up here. Here you go, bud. He's kind of playing dead on me, but he'll scuttle off in a second. Check out this view up here, though, guys. This is crazy. Got a dry lake bed over here, and an observatory up there on that mountain. I don't know if you can see that observatory up there. Got my buddy Bill up here with me today. You're a little tucked in. Say hi, Bill.
Hello.
And that's the LDMA camp down there. That's the Lost Dutchman Mining Association Duisenburg Camp down there. And our Minelab trailer is down in the mix, in the middle of all that. Off to the right, you see the black flags down there. But me and Bill decided to wander up onto this hill here and do a little looking for gold with a gold monster. And if nothing else, it's a great view up here and just a beautiful day. So thought I'd check in, show you guys the horny toad and the view from the top of the hill. All right.
There was a tie at every...
And one of my personal favorite things about the whole event was working over at the gold panning station at the Minelab tent. And I had a speed panning set up over there. Full professional timers, a leaderboard, and people were going head to head against each other. And there was a couple large families that were in competition amongst each other. Some father and son duels, some mother and daughter duels, brother and sister duels. So it was a lot of fun. At the very end, Debbie gave away some really nice prizes to all the winners. And late Saturday night, after everybody went back to their trailers and camps, Minelab, Garrett, and the LDMA and DIGSTOCK events all got together, and in an area about the size of a football field, we planted hundreds of tokens and 300 silver dimes. So after an early morning briefing and going over all the rules, all the participants surrounded the whole area with their coils up in the air, ready, set, go, and everybody dives in. And they spent about an hour and a half in there digging up all those tokens and all those dimes. And then we had the prize ceremony after that, and we kind of jumped from tent to tent. We started at the DIGSTOCK tent, drew some tickets over there, and went over to Minelab and drew some tickets there and gave away a bunch of prizes. And finally ended up over at the Garrett booth where they did the same thing. So plenty of brand new metal detectors and really cool prizes were given out by all the manufacturers and everybody involved.
Anybody find one of these? Anybody find one of these?
Including some gold, some actual gold specimens and gold nuggets that was given out by the LDMA. And after the event was done on Sunday, the wind really picked up. I'm talking it was pretty much 45-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And me and Debbie were looking at the daunting task of packing everything up in that wind when two incredible guys walked up to us. And just a huge thanks to these two guys. They're both retired LA County Sheriff deputies. They volunteered to help us and stayed for hours, and we both owe them a huge debt of gratitude. I also want to thank all the staff at the LDMA. Great people. They were so helpful and willing to help in any way they could and made us felt very welcome. And we were set up right next to the Garrett tent, working with Rusty and Miguel over there. Great guys out of Texas, and we had a good time hanging out with those guys for the weekend. And last but certainly not least, a huge thank you to DIGSTOCK for bringing the event out to the West Coast, California. I hope we can do this again next year. And if we can, I hope it's all about relics next year, because California has no shortage of incredible relics, especially up here in Gold Country.